Hi, Flosstube. It's Tiffany Express Life Tifa. I'm back for Flosstube number 8. Did I count that right? um, so I've been away for a little bit again because I went on 2 trips. I went first to California for 5 days, and then I went um, recently to Canada last weekend. And California, it's really hot and sunny. Um, Unfortunately, I didn't have that good of a time because it was actually really stressful. But that's because, like, my mom's friends that we went to go visit, her husband's going through a lot of health issues right now. So it was a lot of like going to the doctor and um, just kind of like things they had to deal with that wasn't really planned. So it's, it's understandable. But I did get a little bit of stitching done on the plane. Started my Mr. X stitch bubble, and be showing that a little bit later. But some of my highlights of California were I got to see Shelly Key X Stitch, and it's the first time I ever met anyone in person that I watch on Flosstube, so that was like really exciting. I was just like, we kind of had like only a short time to see each other because she was gonna go on a plane for her husband working in Arizona. So we only got like breakfast to go see each other, but it was just so much fun. And she's the kindest person and she can talk forever. And it was just really fun to like, we pretty much talked about every topic under the sun. I feel like I got to know her a lot more in person, and I can totally understand like how retreats are, like you have to go to a retreat if you can, and I think that's because um, being able to have like that dialogue, that face-to-face dialogue is just uh, you can't replace that with anything. Um, and she actually gave me some stitchy kindness, and I haven't started them yet, but they're little like embroidery ornaments. So they're all like printed already on the fabric, and then I think you like peel them and like iron them to like the batting and maybe the backing fabric as well, and then do the embroidery stitches on top. So there's a Santa. There's this mitten. There's a church, and then there's a little heart. But sorry, it's in the packaging and you can't see it too well. But I was really excited to, you know, just to hang out with somebody from Flosstube because I haven't met anyone else before. So I had such a good time, really. And that was like my number one thing of California. It really was the best time. And I guess my number 2 thing of going to California was I went to a quilt shop, and I have been to one in Ann Arbor, like here, before I knew anything about quilting. So I didn't really, I was like, oh, I don't know what to get because I don't really use quilting fabric. Because at the time I was sewing more apparel, like terribly. But I was sewing more apparel, and I was like, there's no apparel like fabric here. So I was so stupid back then. Just get all the fabric. But I did get some fabric while I was in California and wanted to show you those. So there's this one that's like, um, it's like Asian sort of print. It has like lilies and hydrangeas. I'm not very familiar with these flowers. And then there's like a little blue bird. I just really liked like the outline of on the flowers are like golden and shimmery. And then I also got lining fabric because I plan on making it into a project bag. So they're like blue roses. And then I don't know why, but I was just so I immediately gravitated towards these butterflies. And it's kind of funny, like when I was younger, I used to be afraid of butterflies. Not afraid of them, like, and I guess it was more like I was afraid of them landing on me. I don't know if I just, like, don't like bugs landing on me in general. But I was afraid of butterflies because like, when they come towards you and they're giant, it just, I don't know, I guess it scared me. And I've gotten over it now, but it's just kind of a stupid thing where I always thought, like, what an irrational fear to have. Oh, yeah. But if you have any irrational fears, I would love to hear about them because I think, like, my irrational fear of butterflies is kind of funny because they can't harm you in any way. So it was totally stupid. Like, why would you be afraid of something that's completely harmless? So I got that material, and then this would be the inside. This was like a light blue butterfly with like sakura cherry blossom sort of in the background. And then since we spent a lot of time shopping because like, I don't know, we spent some time together, but we spent a lot of time shopping by ourselves. We went to a Joann's, and I got some stuff from the remnants, and of course, more butterflies, purple, and then I did like a lilac inside. So for that one, I actually finished a project bag with the material. Ta-da! And I quilted the inside, and I had some issues with the top because this material is very, like, flimsy. I don't know. It just was very soft, and it maybe needed starch or something. But, yeah, so when I got home, that's, like, one of the things I immediately made, and I haven't made another project bag from the other nicer material. Probably because they're so pretty, I'm just like, I don't want to cut into them. but I will to make something. But you can really tell the difference of quality, like the feel of this material over the Joann's is so noticeably different. Like, this is just so noticeably softer. And I thought that was really interesting considering I haven't gone to like a quilt shop that was the real deal. So I had so much fun, and it was huge. It was a really big quilt shop, and immediately as you walk in, there was like these big, like you could do a big panel, and one of them was like the Nightmare Before Christmas, and it was I didn't get a picture, but yeah, it was like a fabric panel that you could like quilt around. So my second trip last weekend, I went to Toronto to visit my mom's cousins, and I guess they're also my cousins, but it's kind of complicated to figure out, like, how are they related, but you have any distance cousins that you're just like, how are we related again? Okay, we're just related, that's fine. So, while I was there, I pretty much saw everything Chinese that you could possibly do in Toronto, like, which was, like, really, really fun, but also, like, because I'm half, it's, like, there's such a cultural difference between, like, American and, like, Chinese, and it made me, like, I kind of felt like I was having a mini identity crisis because I can't speak Chinese, and everyone like, Chinese people kind of think you're stupid if you look like you're Chinese and you can't speak Chinese. And I really just feel like I have to know now because it is part of like me, but I've been I'm third generation in America, so to me it's like I'm American, and do I really need to know that part of my heritage? I don't know. Like I did learn a little bit of Japanese, which is kind of a lot of people are like, "What? You're not you're not that, but you're learning that language." It's just all confusing, but um yeah, I got on a little tangent there, but we went to a Chinese supermarket and it was huge, and a Chinese mall where there was like every single store was like Chinese store. Went to several Chinese bakeries, and I would show you what we got, but all of it has been eaten so quickly. and and then we went to dim sum a couple times, and it was just my relatives are really just really loving, and I think in some ways it was kind of like the first time I experienced my Chinese relatives to be really loving, because in my own sort of extended family we're a little bit more traditional, not so lovey. I don't know how to describe it because I always thought like my American side was more lovey and then my Chinese side was more strict. And it just it was interesting to like see how much habits that come from Chinese culture that my mom displays that I never really thought of, like, why does she do that? But it's like it's because of that. like it's just like click, oh that's why. Okay. Because like she loves reading the ads, which I don't know, I never really thought it was a Chinese thing. I thought it was just a thing like that we always did. But apparently my Chinese family does that too. Like look at the ads and pricing and everything. So it was I just felt like I fit more in with them than when I was in California, because California was very expensive, and also I don't want to get into it too much because I got pretty upset about it. But just very extravagant, and I didn't feel like I fit in at all because I'm not used to spending extravagantly. So, which it's just I don't know why this phrase keeps coming up, but like different strokes for different folks. That's kind of how it felt to me, because it felt like they just have a different way of doing things that I'm not used to, because I've never grown up with having money. So like it felt like I got along with my Chinese family a little bit more because there was more like not being like cheap, but just being more conscious of like how to like work with less, which I'm always doing. So I just I felt like I fit in a little bit more in Canada, and I just had a really great time. And I don't think that's like the fault of like who we were with, like, or anything. It was kind of it was just like what was going on at the time, and it wasn't really vacation because it was, I don't know. Experience is experience, and um, yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it. But let's move on. Um, so when I was in Canada, we went to the fashion district as well, and I got a couple of zippers that I was going to use for project bags, and they are all very cheap. Um, they were like 38 cents each, Canadian, but the conversion is like, I guess the American dollar is worth more, so it would make it even like cheaper. And um, but they are a little bit different quality from like the Joann's ones that I get. But I'm thinking I'm gonna be looking for different like zippers to get, because the ones that I get from Joann's are really a lot more expensive, and I think I would need more like a bundle instead of just like one at a time. So, and I also got a couple. Oh, the first thing we went to was went to like a charm shop. So I got a couple little charms. One's like a marble cross that I'm gonna put on a chain, and then this one's for my aunt. My mom picked out for her birthday. And I got a few others, but I want to keep them a little secret for my friends. And I'm going to send them to. So let's get on to cross stitch. I just had to tell you about my trips, and I had so much fun. Like seeing, I went to Canada for the first time ever in my life. Like I'd never been out of the country ever, so that was like a totally different experience. Like it kind of reminded me of America just because like there's the Canada flag everywhere, and then everyone's like wearing Canadian merchandise and stuff. Like the 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 Maple Leaves were playing, so a lot of people were wearing the hockey jerseys, and the it was just you could tell you knew where you were at because but this is very similar to like other states that I've been to that like people promote their teams within the city and everything. So yeah, so that was interesting that it's just like sports are everywhere because like in California there's the Rose Bowl, so they're really big on football too, or football, and yeah, well, we're not so much big on football, the Lions. So, but it was just interesting that something that I noticed through my travels that a lot of people wear different like uh, you know, sorry. Why am I talking about sports? But anyways, FFOs, I'm getting yeah, I'm a little bit flustered. I had today off because we're kind of slow at my embroidery job, and he put me down to 4 days again. So, which is good because I need to make a video. But here are my FFOs, my fully finished objects. So I've been doing a lot of like Christmas ornaments, and I know it's like October, but you gotta have them ready. Yeah, right? And I don't really have many patterns for Halloween or fall, and I could buy some, but like I haven't. And um the magazine, the Christmas ornament magazine for Just Cross Stitch came to me, and then I was like immediately, I have to do these. So here's my first one. And I actually have, or I had 7 FFOs, but 3 of them I have sent to people. So if you want to see my other 3, you can look at my Instagram, which is XPRESS Life, LIFE, Tifa, TIFA, or on Instagram. So, but yeah, this is the first one I did, and it's called, I believe it's called Dashing Through the Snow. I didn't have that written down, but it's by Lucille Heaton. Lucy Heaton. Yeah, Lucy Heaton. I'm not gonna figure it out right now, but I wrote the information on my Instagram if you're interested, and I did just like a little love. This is some actually Valentine's ribbon that I got from Joann's when they were on sale, and I liked the like lettering, so I actually am getting really short and running out, and the background fabric is little reindeer as well that I got in a Christmas fabric bundle that I made a Christmas wreath with last Christmas, so it just worked perfectly. And then I also did a rickrack on the edging, so I just kind of like made up how I was gonna like do the edges, and I hand sewed it at like each, you can sort of tell, hand sewed through each point like up. Yeah, I just kind of made that up. I didn't really know how I was going to finish the edges. I really like the pom-pom trim that people do, so I recently bought some pom-pom trim. And then the second one I did, I'm not sure these are really in order because I don't remember which one I did first. And we can blame Dawn for this, Frosty X Stitch, because she started me on my stitchy bug, and it hasn't stopped. It's like, I have stitchy bug with a vengeance, which is kind of a good thing, right? Yay, I have stitchy bug. So this is a needle roll that I did, and it's actually also in the Just Cross Stitch magazine. I don't know if I can find it real quick to show you that I changed the colors. So originally it was, I'm not gonna find it, but originally it was all red, like charted in all red. So it was a red work design, and I changed mine to variegated green and red. So it came out really cute, and I made this needle roll. I had seen this style of like finishing at the Just Cross or at the cross stitch store that I go to in downtown Farmington, the Rocking Horse. So there's some kind of by the counter. There's some like older patterns that have this sort of idea of the needle roll. So this part is stitched, and then I used like a stripy background material for the edges, and it was kind of hard to figure out like how I was going to construct it, but I was able to do it okay. So then I just did like rickrack around the bottom, and then little pink bows, and I finished like the edging for this with like a contrasting red thread. But I just because it was like tall and long, I was like, I really wanted to still do a pillow finish, but that's kind of how I got the idea. But it just kind of grew because I was like, oh, it could be like a little candy, or look like a little candy. So it came out good. I'm not really sure where I'm gonna display it or what I'm gonna do with it, but it wasn't really, that wasn't really part of the plan. It was just, oh, I liked the red work design, and then I changed the colors, and then I was like, oh, how do I finish this? So that was my idea. And then the next one is this tiny little mini stocking by Elaine Gurek, and that's also in the Just Cross Stitch magazine. And I changed the colors because originally it was charted for pink. It was like a light pink and a hot pink. So I changed the flower from a pink flower to a red one, and did it with green, and then a variegated like blue for the middle part. Because my idea was kind of like Beauty and the Beast, the rose within the glass. So like the light blue variegated floss kind of makes it look like it's inside of glass. And then I fully finished it into a stocking, and then I had this like little Valentine's Day print that I had for a while to use on the back, and I just made a little ribbon hanger here. So it came out so cute. I mean, look how small it is. It's so cute. I want to make more of them, like maybe in just different colors, and just have like, I don't know. They're just so cute that it's just like, I want another one, because I like how miniature they are. So, so that was my third finish, but I had 7 because yeah, a couple I've sent off, so if you want to see them, just go to my Instagram. And then I have I have so many finishes. This is nuts. Oh, so with my other like this one that I did, I also did the other one that she has in the Just Cross Stitch magazine, which is let me show you with something behind. But it's, yeah. That one's a Christmas tree, and then the other one is like birch trees. So I'm gonna do the finishing for this one about just the same. Hopefully I have enough ribbon to do that, because I don't have that much ribbon left. But I'll come up with something if I do find out I don't have enough. But so that was another finish, and then another finish that I have that I did while I was on the plane to California was my Mr. X Stitch Bobble, and it's it's a free pattern that you can get, and I just kind of came up with my own colors, and I also used like sparkly Krennic, a strand of sparkly Krennic with like a tan. It's hard to see. I don't know if you can see any shiny. It's very, you can tell in person, but it doesn't really translate like, you know, in photographs. And then I started another one, and I haven't finished it. It's just like a variegated blue DMC thread that I was doing. I haven't finished it because I don't really like how it's looking. So I kind of stopped and started something else because I don't really like how the variegation is coming out. But I'll still finish it. I wasn't really happy with it, unfortunately. And then my other finish is a test stitch for Karen. And she's also here on Flosstube as Keb Studio Creations. Gosh, I got it wrong last time and I was so mad. But her name is Karen, and yes, it's Keb Studio Creations. So Keb Studio Creations, and she's here on Flosstube as the same. So I did a test stitch piece for her, and this is like the normal bear, and then there's a girl bear and a boy bear, and the difference is like the placement of the bow, which is really cute. I'm not sure when I'm gonna start the other two, because it's just a lot of brown and one color, and it did take quite a few days. I mean, probably took like 5 days, but I'm thinking in order for me to like get them done without like losing my mind too much that I'm doing the same color, I'll just have to do a rotation, which I never do. I don't know, I keep working on one until I'm bored. But but usually, like, as long as it only takes like 3 days or so, then I'll just be like done with one. And that's why I've like have so many done, because I was able to like actually move on to the next and move on to the next and move on to the next. So so next is my whips, and I just started on this Mill Hill kit, and it's Sleigh Ride. Their Sleigh Ride series. It's called the Toyland Sleigh, and I just started. I have the sleigh finished, and I just have to add in like the toys on the top and the Christmas tree and that's inside. So there's a lot of different ones, but this is the one that was at the store. I went to the Just Cross, or I keep calling it Just Cross Stitch store. I went to the Cross Stitch store on Saturday, and then they also had a farmer's market that I walked around and got some vegetables, because I'm planning on making some stew, like roast beef stew, which was like, when I was living on my own, that was the first thing I made in the crock pot. which was really easy. It's really easy to make, but it's so good. And oh, and then I wanted to talk about quilting and some non-cross stitch related things. And that is my placemats that I'm making for the Halloween runner that I made. So oh, that's my second one. So this is my first one. And it's all like flying geese on the edges. So this one's like, I'm not sure how I'm showing that. That one's one unit. Oh my gosh. Me trying to explain this right now. This right here is. Anyways, if you're interested in figuring out what a flying geese is, just look it up because me trying to show you what one unit is not working. But this is my second one. And I'm running low on this like candy corn material that I use in the middle, so I'm not sure how the second or the third and fourth one's gonna look. So I just kind of been making it up on my own, but I have this quilting book. I have it. Oh. So I have this quilting book that's called I Taught Myself to Quilt, and I've been using, like, this one was like the Canada flag that I showed you last time that I actually have right here that I haven't been working on because I started something else. And then this is the placemats that I've been doing, but like with Halloween fabric colors. So yeah, I've been really enjoying working on, you know, some placemats to go with that Halloween theme, because I haven't really been cross-stitching anything because I did two that I sent off already, and then yeah, I sent one to Helen D. And before I went to California, she sent me a project bag. Isn't it so cute? And then Misty Purcell at Luminous Fibers Arts, she also has a matching one, and I guess we all have matching ones that Helen made. Thank you, Helen. I really loved it, and I brought it with me to California. It went with me on the plane, and I've been putting a lot of stuff in it. Lots of stuff. Because I bought more black material to do more ornaments on, because I like doing everything on black now. And then she also sent me some needle minders. One's a narwhal, and the other one is like a frog on top of a toad, and he's holding like what looks like Ariel. So he's some sort of monster, Loch Ness monster or something. But that's very cute. They're very cute. I haven't been using needle binders lately because, well, the Mill Hill kit doesn't. It's so small. I don't know. My smaller projects would be kind of heavy because I just stitch in hand. So, but they'd still be cute, like to put in my fridge or something. And oh, I just realized I didn't show you this. Here's one more fully finished object, and I also gave the purple one that I did to Kelly, or Shelly. Oops, not Kelly. So this was one of my finishes last time, and then I beat it around the edge with like gold beads. You can see gold beads. And then I have a batik fabric on the back, and I actually made this tassel using a tutorial here on YouTube. And then I have beads for the hanger, and they're blue, white, and gold. So very pretty. I think I'm gonna make one more to keep, and then one I may send in the mail to someone. But not going to say who. I'm so bad. I can't keep Stitchy projects a secret. How do y'all do that? I just don't. I can't. But I'm gonna end with people that I've been watching, which has been nearly everyone under the sun. I mean, Kitten Stitcher, Susie Reno, who's, you know, I love her. Oh my gosh, so many. But I want to give a shout out to Stitchy Shannon 85 because I have been talking to her a lot on WhatsApp, and then also she's encouraged me make another video. Oh, I still get nervous, guys. I mean, especially when I'm like, wait, what do I say now? Oh, but I'm trying, okay? So, thanks for watching, coming to see me. Sometimes I have so many projects I don't even, like, don't make me count these things up. It seems like at least once a week somebody's like, oh, tell us how many projects you have. And I'm like, no, you don't want me to tell you how many projects I have. Oh, gosh. So many. And then I want to do, like, other hobbies too, start things, and oh, how do you stop yourself from doing? But yeah, I just thanks guys for coming to see my craziness, and I had a lot of fun hanging out with you guys, and I love watching all the Flosstube like usual. I love all the Flosstube. Have a good one.